camera sit there. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Chats con Sabor. My name is Yvette. I'm one of your hosts, and I'm here with my beautiful co-host, Joanna. And today we have a very, very special guest for our Halloween special, our friend Michelle. Yay! Hello, Michelle, and welcome.
Everybody likes to pull me out at Halloween.
So Michelle is a numerologist, and I met her when I first moved out here to Georgia. And the first reading that I had with her was with my aunt and my cousin and one of my daughters. And she just blew me away, completely blew me away. So, I sing her praises everywhere I go because she's the real deal, guys, the real deal. So let's get started with giving us a little bit of your background and how old you were when you realized you were gifted and stuff like that.
It was from birth. So I've had things happening since birth. There's been stories about when I was a baby. I had what I guess today they would call it high sensitivity. So I was born very, very sensitive emotionally, but energetically as well. So all of it. And so it was very hard on my childhood. I didn't understand a lot of things that were happening when I was a child. I still deal with some of that. I'm more understanding of it now, but as a child I had no idea. And it was a problem. So it was an issue that was taking place in my household. I could not sleep in my room. I constantly had issues. My parents were constantly having to deal with it. They couldn't keep me in bed at night, that kind of stuff. Yeah, because there was stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I think as I went into like teenage to child, because I went right into childbearing years, it kind of stopped. Not completely, totally, but part of it I think is a focus thing. When you're focused just on survival and taking care of babies and that kind of stuff, I think it just... I've heard people say, well, that kind of disappears during those times of life. Well, I don't know that it disappears. I think you're not focused on it at all.
Right.
So pretty much that. But then I think it was about 15 years ago, I had always been interested in numerology and tarot and that stuff. I love symbolism. I very much like to find order in chaos, and those things give me that. So numerology and tarot kind of give me that order in the chaos. Right. Is what it is for me. And so I had been studying it and learning about it for a very long time. It was just always something I was interested in. And then I started doing readings like on family members or friends. And then I met my husband, and he was freaked out. He goes, "You need to be doing this. You need to get out there. You need to be doing this out there." And I was always like, it's just fun.
Yeah.
Just doing I actually kind of hid from it because I had a lot of judgment from people. So I hid from it because my whole world was real, certain type of religious type of, from Texas. And so there was a lot of that, just judgment.
Yeah. So when you were growing up though, you mentioned that you come from a religious family. I think all of us kind of do.
Just a typical Southern kind of I come from. Yeah.
So you do believe in God though, or do you believe in a higher power?
Absolutely.
Different higher power?
Creator,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to put that out there because a lot of people have these stereotypes and connotations.
Everybody finds it really funny because I do energy work. I've been doing energy work for a very long time. So I carry my grandfather's cross. So I go in and I will exercise the place. So that's the kind of stuff I like to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to get a little bit deeper into that.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start off with explaining to the audience what exactly numerology is.
Okay. Numerology, like I say, is basically kind of finding order in chaos. It's a means of doing that. It's what is called scrying. Scrying is using different types of forms of like tarot or, using a crystal ball or different things to try to find inner growth. That's basically what it is, finding inner growth and finding order. Self-growth is what we use it for. And so when I'm working with other people, I'm working with them to use it for self-growth. With numerology, I've always been interested in numbers, and because I'm so sensitive to energy, I easily understood what each number meant. Like I could feel it.
Yeah.
And numerology is the universal language. So each number has meaning, and each combination of number has meanings, and it's just all different energy levels. And so basically what it is, it's a lot the same as astrology. They go hand in hand, where like in astrology, the day you were born, it's the positions of the planets. Well, in numerology, we use the vowels and consonants and the numbers that encompass you. So the name you came with, the date of birth, that kind of stuff. There's a lot of different ways we use numbers and letters because each letter has a numerical meaning.
Yeah.
And so then what we get is we get a chart with different things, just like an astrology chart, and they really go hand in hand. So it's just a way of measuring energy that affects you and your personality.
Right.
Some use numbers to do it, and some use the planets to do it. So it really coincides with each other. So like tarot, for instance, I use tarot. Tarot has astrological and numerological stuff in it.
Yeah. We always hear about like angel numbers and things like that. So we know that numbers are very
important.
much, they link us to spirituality and, to the cosmos and our celestial souls and beings.
You hear a lot of people talk about divine numbers
Yeah.
or divine math and all that.
Right.
And so for me, like I believe in a greater power, a higher power. I believe in God. I grew up a Christian, so I have a relationship with Jesus Christ. That's my relationship. So that's just what my basis of my life, where I am. So people will say divine, and that goes back to, at the base of numerology is it shows how creation came into being.
Yeah.
So for instance, number 1 is the beginning, right? And so then you have number 2, that's connection. Here comes another one. It's connection. 3 is creation. 4 is building. Okay? So each number has an overall kind of energetic pattern and frequency of creation, of evolution, of constantly going and going. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it goes up to 9, right?
It goes up to 9. So numbers go from 1 to 9. And then when you get to 10, it's a 1 again with a 0 on it. So the 0 just adds a little bit of a spiritual emphasis to a number for me, but it doesn't really count as a number. And then, so when we're deducing on charts, trying to find out the different parts of your chart, when we deduce down, we'll add up all the numbers, and then we'll deduce it down to the smallest number unless it gets to a matching number, identical numbers like 11, 22, 33, 44. We call those master numbers. So it's just a different type of energy frequency.
Would you say it's a higher level of that same
Yes.
frequency of, say, a 4, but 44
Right.
is then like
An 8.
an 8 and a
Exactly.
bigger level? Yeah.
So if I was going to deduce down further, like for instance, if I was deducing somebody's numbers down and I got to a 22, if I continued deducing, it would be a 4. So that 22 is a high energy frequency of a 4. Yeah. So, and you're just hearing the numbers, but to me, it's a language. So when
Right.
I'm dealing with people and we're talking about the language energy of what those things mean. And I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. I said, what we do with numerology is if I have somebody come to me and they're having an issue and I can look at their chart and I see certain patterns, what I try to teach them is how to neutralize something, maybe heavy patterns or light patterns, how to make up for that. We talk about different energies to try to level things out, basically.
Got it. And so would you say that it's also used kind of like a roadmap and a guide
It's very much a
throughout
roadmap.
your life? And
What
you
I
can
say is that
expect
it's the
and-
roadmap that you wrote for your life before you were born. And then I have it all right here on a chart,
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because I find that a lot of people who seem to be on more spiritual type of roads in life, a lot of times line up when we go through their chart. I realize you're very lined up with your chart. It's really fun to see that.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for her so far?
I'm like amazed because I've never been into numerology. You
Yeah.
have someone read your palm, your
Right.
tarot cards and stuff like that. I think you and I spoke once. It was just not good.
Yeah.
The energy was super bad for me that day when you and I spoke.
Yeah.
So like understanding it better, it makes sense because
When you say the energy, though, you don't mean the energy with her. You mean like
no,
stuff going on in your life.
In my life.
Got it. Okay.
Because she could see it, she could feel it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she knew that it was no bueno. So
Oh, she's amazing. She's amazing, guys. Like when I tell you, I'm getting chills
Oh,
all
yeah,
over.
come on.
I am getting chills.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, though.
all I did was sit down.
I'm sensitive. I love connecting with people. So I love connecting with people, and I love being able to talk about things and be able to show somebody if they say, hey, I've got such and such going on, I'm like, look, see this? That's what's happening.
This is,
You know, and it's always that kind of thing. Like, wow, how do I fix that? You know?
and then it gives people also, like you said, there's the evolution of creation, right? So in your
Yes.
life patterns, every year is also a different year, right?
Oh my gosh, yes. So, for instance, our cycles go in life cycles of 1 to 9. So 9-year cycles. And every 9 years, so 1 is a beginning, and then 9 would be an ending, right? So each year is a different phase we're going through in life. And then each cycle you hope to level up, which is how you gain wisdom. That's how we become wiser and wiser in those life cycles.
Right.
And pretty typically, I can look at somebody's 1 year and say, what were you doing on such and such? And it was a big beginning for them.
Right.
Like a move or,
Yeah.
you know, new baby or a marriage or something like that. People were like, well, how does that work? How does that work? How is it always right? And I said, because I believe it's right. It's always right. So it's something I have a lot of trust in because I know that these numbers and the patterns are all the same throughout creation and they play out and are talked about in different ways. And this is the way I read them.
Yes.
And they're always right.
So people talk about like destiny and it's written in the stars or it's like concrete, this is what's going to happen. And that's not true. We have free will. So this is
Exactly.
like, it's a map for your life, but you still have free will. So the choices that you make can actually affect all of
the
these
outcome,
things.
yeah.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. And so what I do is help people on their roadmap when they're trying to reach the thing to look at when are the best times to make these choices, when are the best times to take that step.
Right.
You know, so that you're going with the energy pattern of your life.
Yeah.
And when you go with the energy pattern of your life, then things will move easier.
Yeah.
So I do have a question. You know how people say that your life changes, it changes in 7 years. Like you have that 7 years that you go through. It could be in marriage, it could be in relationship, where things get a little frazzled or disrupted. Do you believe that is the case?
Yeah, let me explain this. You have 7 years, and on the sides you have a first year and a last year. So those transitions are happening in that first year and that last year, and then those 7 years
In between.
Yeah.
Ah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So the first year and the last year are those transition years, and there's those 7 years there in the middle that you're doing whatever that part of your cycle is in life, whether it be a relationship. But that first year would have been transitioning into that relationship. The last year may have been transitioning out of that relationship, and then you have those 7 years.
Yeah.
It's not always like that, but I think that's where that would come from. When people talk about the 7 years, it's actually 9-year cycles. Yeah.
I've heard, like, see a lot of reels and things like that, people on Instagram and on TikTok that kind of do the same thing that you do, but in different ways. They talk about the actual year. Like, so last year was an 8-year, 2 + 2 + 4. Yeah. And then today, this year, 2025 is a 9-year.
We're in an ending. We're in a big ending this year.
And so I thought it was really, look, I'm getting chills again. I always get chills when I know what I'm saying is,
You know you're on. Your spirit knows. And
yeah,
you get
like
tingly.
truth or whatever. You
Yeah.
know, like, yep, that's it. Like
Exactly.
confirmation.
Right.
That's the word I was looking for. Anyway, so way back when you did my very first reading, when I first met you, you did tell me that at the end of 2025, I would be making a major move. And look at me now.
Making
Which
a
she just
major
told me
move.
she's
Yeah.
moving. So
Yeah.
I didn't even know that until now.
Yeah,
but
making
wow.
a major move. Yeah, and the
Yeah.
audience won't know this until October, and by that time, my move will have already happened. But
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, so I think it's just interesting. I mean, all
So
this stuff.
9 is the complete number
Yeah.
of creation. So all the numbers go into 9. 3, 6, 9 are the numbers of creation. And so 9 is that solid, is just the perfect number. So what's happening is your move is happening during a universal year 9.
Right.
So that plays a lot right now because it is a universal year 9. A lot of people are going through a lot of endings in general.
Yeah.
That means all around the entire world.
Right.
And then we are in the 2020s, which is called the Master 22 decade, which is about, so the 2020, that's a 22 energy with zeros for high spirituality. This whole decade is called the Master Builder, and it's about tearing down old ways and old structures and building the new. And so that's what we see happening, playing out, you know, all over the world. We see it playing out in all different ways of old ways falling apart, new ways coming into being. There's a lot of a lot of combustible energy. The 22 is a very high energy. It causes like a pressure cooker effect.
Okay.
And so it's happening around the world because it's the 2020s. So this will only ever happen in the 2020s.
2020s.
The next time that pressure cooker effect will happen will be the 3030s.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Okay.
This type of pressure cooker effect.
And then 40s.
That's how rare it is.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
how
wow.
rare it is to go through something like that.
That's incredible. That's
Yeah.
so incredible. You mentioned tarot earlier, and I'm going like this because she's got some tarot cards, and we're going to do some fun stuff in a little bit. So, but how do you answer or respond to when people say that tarot is witchcraft, or like you have your pendulum
Right.
board out? Like when people address it that way, being that you're
Which I've dealt with on my life.
yeah, that being that you're a spiritual person, you do believe in God. Like, how do you address those kind of judgments?
First of all, I don't usually address them. I just kind of allow people to believe what they believe.
Right.
That's just kind of how I've learned to deal with it. But I have had people that I've had to talk to who were truly concerned about me, who I knew loved me, who felt it may mean this or that from whatever they believed or were taught or something like that. I didn't happen to grow, even though my family we went to church when I was a child. My specific family was not very judgy, but a lot of people in my rest of my family were. But like my home,
Yeah.
no, because there's a lot of sensitives in my whole family. So for me, it's an art form. So I love symbolism, and I'm all about. I think that everything has a pattern in life, and so I recognize the patterns. And like tarot is just a story; it's basically a book. And so it's just like reading a book. To me, that's how it feels. If I wanted to read a book about self-help, I read a book about self-help. Or if I'm just trying to do self-help on my own, a lot of times I use my tarot to get instruction. So I'm not connecting to a spirit, asking them to show me cards.
Right.
I'm using my energy to connect with the cards so that I'll pull the cards that are good for me. So I'm using my energy.
Your own energy, and the cards are just a
Yes.
tool.
Exactly.
That
It's
you
just
use.
a tool.
Yeah.
Just like if I was to read a book for self-help.
Yeah.
If what I'll do is I'll pull my energy up. I kind of push it up above my head where I tap into my spiritual realm. I tap into what I call my guardians, my spirit guides. I tap into the angelic realm for protection. I do think it's important anytime you're going into the spirit realm for prayer or whatever that you're protected.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And however you feel to do that. For a lot of people, it's pushing your energy up into as high as you can, and then also pushing energy down to your feet as low into the
Grounding.
ground to ground
Yeah.
yourself. So there's so many ways to do it. For instance, like people think a crystal ball is looking in a ball, and then suddenly you're going to see something in it.
Right.
No, it's like it's gazing. So what it is doing is trying to get you to soften your gaze to where you stare. It's kind of the same thing as a fireplace. Like if you're looking at a fire and you kind of just get mesmerized by it and you get lost in thought,
Happens to me all the time.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it's doing. So that's what crystal bars are. That's all they are. That's all they ever were. There's nothing that goes, ooh.
Yeah.
And there's like a little
no
wish in it or
storybook.
somebody telling you
Yeah.
something. It's just all it was. That's just Hollywood.
Yeah,
That's all that is. That's silly stuff. But basically, it was an old technique for softening the mind, you know? So, like, now people use all kinds of things to do it, tones and training videos, things like that to relax their mind. But before all that was available, people used things like real crystal balls. So this is a real crystal ball. It's German crystal, very heavy. And so what you would do is stare at it. Just like a fire, and with certain lights, if you have a certain light on a certain way, you can just kind of see the prisms and stuff, and it just mesmerizes. And so what happens is, then your spirit can talk to yourself.
Yeah.
Your mind starts flowing. So when I've explained it to people those ways, and they see I'm using it to just relax my mind and just get my own information from myself, and it's about
Right.
my spirit, or if I'm in prayer with, you know, whoever I want to pray to, Jesus Christ, or if I'm talking to a loved one. And the same thing with the pendulum. It's the same exact thing with the pendulum. So when I'm using the pendulum, I'm connecting with my energy. I'm not asking someone else to move my pendulum.
Right.
So I'm connecting with my energy so that my energy gives me the answer. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So my question was, and you and I
Oh, I'm
talked
sorry.
about it a little bit earlier, was about the energy.
Yeah.
And I know you say you're a sensitive. Now, when you're in crowded rooms and stuff, and there's all this chaos and energy happening, how do you remove yourself from that? How do you disconnect?
I literally walk away. I'll disappear.
Yeah.
So people who've been around me in those situations, because I have a husband who performs in very crowded places, have seen how I just disappear. I will disappear to get away. I'll have to walk outside. I can only take so much energy because I'll pick up everybody's feelings. I'll pick up at people's excitement. For instance, very loud, trilling type of metal, like metal music, is very calming to me.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's very calming to me. My son's the same way. So that will calm, like if I was in a concert where everybody was listening to the same music and we were kind of doing that, it would calm me. But if it's chaotic, there's a bunch of people and stuff, then it gets too much. The first day I met you, there was a bunch of y'all.
Yeah.
So I wasn't just meeting one person.
Yeah.
And so I think a couple of people like walked in and I was just meeting y'all and it was just all this energy at once. It was like I was having pictures from somebody walking in the door. My mind was picking up all kinds of stuff, all at once. So.
I remember, I think I was grabbing something behind the bar or something, and my cousin had walked you in, and the first thing you said, you were like, "Wow, you have a lot of energy." Like that. My energy was like big and like very like strong energy and stuff.
Yeah, and I think you're life path 8, if I remember.
I am. Yeah.
Which is we call that powerhouse energy. That's the powerhouse energy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna get more into
your
that.
life path is a 1, which is boss lady. So that's actually the leader type. I mean, the 1
Makes
life
sense.
path is a leader type. Here's the funny thing about this. So I don't know. I'm just saying, were you a bossy little kid or hard-headed and stubborn? Try to like. All right, let me explain this. 1s typically, as young children, can be more stubborn because they're supposed to be leaders. Like they're going to be leading in some way. However, whichever way they're going to be leading. Like my daughter is a 1, she leads her household. I mean, literally.
Well, yeah.
She leads her household. That whole thing would fall apart. Their whole world would fall apart.
Yeah.
without her leadership ability.
That makes sense. Since I was a little kid,
Yes.
I raised my brother and my sister while my mom was working.
That was my daughter.
So I always ran the household.
That was how my daughter, she went through kind of the same thing. She had to take care of younger siblings, stuff like that. So yeah, it was the same kind of thing. And so she developed that kind of early leadership you as well. So you had that. So that's that 1 energy. That's your main thing in life, is that ability to be the one that takes care of everything.
Now I try to stay away from it.
Well, professionally.
But
Yeah, professionally, I try to stay away from
But
it.
this is very entrepreneur. So 1 is very entrepreneur number for sure.
Yeah.
And the 8 is the powerhouse, so that's the people kind of like behind the scenes running, organizing, getting it all done. We're gonna
definitely
make
me.
yeah.
We're gonna get deeper into that, but before we go there, I want to kind of, since it's Halloween, almost Halloween, the history of Halloween. What do you know about? Because I've heard a gazillion different stories,
million different stories.
I think the common knowledge is that the veil is thin on that day, and so we have a little bit more extra access, I guess, to the other realms, and then also the witches, the Salem witches, and all of that stuff. So what's your take and your explanation or your perception of what really truly Halloween is?
Okay, well, we talk about the veil lifting kind of thing that night, or it's considered a more magical night. For some, think it's an evil night, or that kind of stuff. It's about the collective energy of the people. So the collective energy is all about the spiritual realm and the other side and the dead and, happy stuff and trick-or-treating or scary stuff. So that collective energy builds up, that lightens the veil, where it is kind of a more magical night, or things happen or that kind of stuff. I don't really know for sure about that. I was born right before Halloween, so I was kind of Halloween babies, which is maybe explain a lot of this. I was born on the 27th, so this may explain a lot of this. But, I'm a Scorpio. And always interested in what's beneath the surface kind of thing. So that probably comes with that territory. But I've always thought that it was a day to celebrate the dead. The people who passed on before us, a way to celebrate them. And I guess over time it became kind of Americanized and the Halloween costumes and that kind of stuff. But it's always been...
A lot of people are... The energy is like people are so happy and
It's
so
always
free
been for us.
and
It's a fun holiday.
It's where people can just be someone else
Yeah.
and just enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
And it's just it's so different. And I know a lot of people are very against it or think that it's a Wiccan holiday but people are so
No.
open.
Yeah, so it's just never been anything. To me, because I'm a sensitive, I understand that I can feel the difference of dark and light. I can feel it.
Right.
And I've been around a lot of dark and I've been around a lot of light. And so I think part of it, somebody was asking me how I can zero in on some of the stuff I've done. And I said, well, you have to be able to know the dark to be able to fight the dark.
Yep. Yep.
So I think that you'll find more people who've been through maybe a lot of stuff, who are sensitive, who've developed an ability to sense it real quickly, or to sense it, know when something is dark.
Right.
Darkness is not attracted to happiness. Darkness is attracted to darkness. It wants darkness. So it's attracted to extreme situations, anger. Where there's hatred, you're going to find darkness, that kind of stuff. Where you find a group of people having a very good time together and smiling and happiness, there's nothing dark that can touch them.
They used to say it about Black Sabbath all the time. That they
Exactly.
were,
Yeah.
they were heavy into witchcraft. And,
Right.
Same thing
Satanism.
with who is it? Alice Cooper. He is a
He's a Christian.
he's
Yeah,
a
he's
Christian.
a
I was
born-again
and he's a
Christian.
I was gonna say heavy duty Christian. Like I've seen interviews and stuff and the things that he
Dave
believes in
Mustaine,
and
Megadeth,
everything.
same thing.
Yeah.
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 So there's quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like Ozzy, I mean, he's known for, he was warning about the dark side. Now, he had his early crazy days,
Right.
and we can go here or there about was he a good guy or not. Well, he was messed up, right? So he was messed up his early days. He was real wasted and all that kind of stuff. But he has tried from that time to like warn people about the bad stuff, and that's what his music was about. It sounds dark, but he's warning about that kind of stuff, you know. And
I think also with like rock stars like that, since we're on the topic, I think that they get, like you said, the dark wants the dark, right? So they kind of drag them into it, and a lot of musicians and rock stars, they get like caught up almost.
Yes.
It's not necessarily who they are, but they get caught up and influenced, and
Yes.
then once they kind of come out of it on the other end, then they know because they've been through it.
That's right.
So then they know, like in Ozzy's situation, you know,
Right.
he knew because he went through, you know, drug abuse and all that stuff.
Exactly.
So he knew what to talk about and what to warn people about. So yeah.
And I can't imagine the amount of lives he's saved and helped with his messages because of his early life.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
he also said, I saw an interview on him. He was very big on, you know, this is what was selling at the time. This is what I was doing, but that's not who I am as a
Right.
person.
Right.
So. And his
Right.
birthday is the same day as mine. So I'm going to defend him a little bit.
So he's a fellow Saggy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were
Party
talking.
boy, party girl.
So we were talking about spirits and like the veil being thin and everything. Do you? This is a question just for the audience. I already know the answer because I know what you do. So, do you believe in ghosts / spirits? And how do you know when you're actually talking to spirits or communicating with spirits?
Well, I actually see them and sense them. So typically I will feel it first. Typically I will feel something off. I'll just say, okay, I went into a location not real far from here, an area that has a lot of issues I get called in for. And they didn't tell me it was wrong. Just, you know, hey, something's off here. Can you please take a look? And I walk through, just walking through, and I'll feel drawn. So I felt something. I could feel something off. And I had my protection. I usually have my grandfather's cross. I keep myself very protected because there is really dark and then there's just pain in the butt dark.
Yeah.
And this was a pain in the butt dark situation. And it was, I don't want to like scare anybody, but it was kind of a salon. And there was a closet in the back room that there was a man in. So I walked back and I felt a man standing back in this closet, which was on the back wall of this building. And so I felt him. I realized he was there. I realized where he came from. He was, you know, he was definitely from like 1920s, 1930s.
Okay.
And where this place was located was actually an old part of town where there was like a bar and stuff, and there's still a bar in the area, but that area was an older bar. And he was just like a derelict that he was like a town drunk, the person who was always drunk on the corner. And then when he died, probably from liver failure, when he died, he was just so stuck to his earthly habit. So he just never went to the other side. And with him, for instance, I don't know that he knew for sure he was dead. I felt like he knew what he was up to, and what it was is he was watching the women in the salon.
That's creepy.
But here's the interesting thing. So the next day, one of the people at the salon who went there was just the owner who was there when I went through. So one of the the next day, the owner called me and had me talk to somebody who worked for her, who said, "Tell her what you were telling me." And she said, "I kept saying there was a man in that closet."
No.
She said, "I kept feeling like there was a man in that," because she's sensitive. See,
Yeah.
but I didn't know her, and she didn't tell me that or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so,
I never
so
tell.
interesting. No,
I'll tell a story, but I'll never tell who.
That's good. That's good. Well, my next thing was going to say to tell us a wild ghost story, but I think I remember you telling us something about, I think, one of the hospitals or something.
Yeah.
Can you tell the audience
That was
one of those
amazing.
stories?
So I was
I'm like a
called-
little kid.
I know.
I was called into this hospital in Atlanta, and it was a very historical hospital. It was the first black hospital in Atlanta, and it was started by a sister of kind of charity many, many ages ago. And well, anyway, I was called out because this research facility, medical research facility, had bought it. They were doing trials there, and they were having problems. And again, nobody tells me what the problems are. They're just, come on, we have problems, okay? And so usually what I do is I'll go and then I'll walk around a facility, then I'll meet with them, tell them what I feel, and then I ask them what they're having problems with. And it's always, well, that's what we're having problems with. So, but they were having problems, and what was happening is they were having schizophrenia trials. And some of the schizophrenics kept saying the same stuff.
They were seeing things? Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they were having problems, some of them in these trials. And I didn't know that then. They just called me in to take a look. And so we went in, and the first thing I said before I went there is I said, "I already sense there's a graveyard somewhere on the property." And they were like, "No, there's no graveyard here. Do you even know? Da, da, da." And I said, "There's somebody in that hospital already that's attached to that hospital, and it has something to do with that graveyard, and it is on your grounds." And they're like, "No, no, 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 no," and all this stuff. So like 2 days later, like we have the date for me to go like the next week, but like 2 days later, they send me this video of their groundskeeper on his golf cart. He's going through all these bushes and out in the woods, and he comes through, and there's like this old gate, and then there's that old
Graveyard.
cemetery.
Ah, I got chills.
I have all the videos of it too. It was so much fun. Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm telling you guys, she's the real deal.
Yeah, they sent me it, and it freaked out their yard guy. He was like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, there's a graveyard here." And so then he took me out to the graveyard, and then, but we went to the hospital, and they had, I don't want to say demonic, but I think people and the way people see things, it was it was an excessive amount of energy, of negative energy over all those years, which this went back to Civil War time, this area.
Okay.
That had built up, and it kind of becomes its own being. And so we found it, and we got rid of it. And we even have it on film.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
You said something about it becoming like its own being, and it's like its own entity. Is that kind of the same thing as what I'm going to probably get the word wrong, an egregore? I think that's what it's called. Like when the collective energy kind of focuses on one thing, and then that thing, whatever it is that they're focusing on, like that energy just kind of creates like its own thing. Like it's
basically what I feel is that anything we collectively put a lot of energy and thought into, we bring into creation.
right.
So there's a lot of things in creation I wish we'd never hear, but people shouldn't even be thinking about, but so a lot of stuff comes into creation from our thinking for sure, which I think maybe probably covers some of the cryptid stuff, like cryptids and Bigfoot and that kind of stuff, but definitely the collective energy. But what I have noticed, and I've gone to Savannah several times because they have a lot of problems with this in Savannah, a lot of the older houses, I've gone there, and anytime there's a place that's had a lot of trauma, And there's a lot of collected energy of trauma over many, many decades or eons. A lot of times all that energy builds up and it becomes a being, which some people may call demonic. I just call it dark.
Yeah.
Dark energy.
Just dark energy.
Yeah. Dark energy.
And gets kind of stuck there maybe because it keeps feeding off of
It feeds
other
off.
dark energies, you know, that it comes across.
Yeah, we found one, these people had bought this new home, beautiful new home, one of the huge historical homes. I mean, gorgeous. It's on a magazine. It's huge. But they were having problems there, and we went and looked. I got drawn to one corner over in this house, and I got drawn up to the ceiling, and I knew there was something there. And I said, something is over here. What is on the other side of this wall? And they said, that's a carriage house, but it's not part of this house anymore. But the kid that was there just killed himself. And I went, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So what I did is I found there was kind of that negative energy being that was up, and they usually do hide. And I found it, but I think it had some influence on somebody who was going through a hard time. Yeah.
And made him kind of like decide.
Yeah. Or it can influence. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think when some people talk about demonic or that kind of stuff, how it can play influence, I think that negative things can have influence. But not just, it just can't just have influence anything. It's usually, it takes something to get it. Like
Right.
that kid was probably having a really tough, and I say kid, I mean he was a young man, but was probably going through a really tough time, may have had depression, may have not. I don't know what happened with him, and the people who were there did not know personally either. I'm just assuming. So that can, and he just happened to be in a place with a home that had one of those negative, I call them negative entities. That's
Yeah.
what I call them.
Yeah.
A negative entity being.
Yeah.
So, but they're not real typical. But if a place has one, I'm going to get a call. That's what I'm saying, because it's so atypical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something that I believe, and Joe and I have talked about this before, where I believe that every person has, we're a balance of the light and the dark. Like you said, you can't fight the dark if you don't know the dark, right?
That's right.
And in darkness, there's light. That's
That's
the
right.
contrast. I mean, it's the yin yang. You know,
Without the dark, you wouldn't have the light. Without
exactly.
the light, you wouldn't have the dark.
Good, bad, good and evil. You know,
Yeah,
like it's the
very
whole,
true.
and it's a balance. It's a
Yes.
balance of both. So we're not all light and we're not all dark. Even the darkest beings have a little bit of light in there. You know,
And
and
we require the dark and the light to hold everything in balance.
right,
It's when one is out of balance.
where you
Then we
have
gotta work on it.
issues. Yeah,
That's right.
Because people who are supposedly so full of light sometimes, they actually kind of look a little and act
Crazy?
and they're almost
Demented?
like fanatics on the other
Fanatic?
side.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like, and
Yeah.
you see them and you're like, I don't know, I don't feel that good energy coming from you because you're so just kind of like hyper focused, I guess, on that light, but you're too far to the light.
It's
that,
trying to find
you know,
balance.
there's
Like,
no
for instance,
balance.
I've known somebody who was involved in, I guess I call it the Church of Satan or something, or this was a while back, involved in that. And then went to Christianity, and I mean swung hard one way to extreme the other way. And then had to learn how to find the balance. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 So, I am very intuitive with people. Well, I believe I call them spidey senses. When I'm around someone's energy and I know it's off, or I see something that just doesn't sit right with me,
Right.
with that person. I used to be very, very sensitive when I was younger. Like, I could just feel people. And then after my ex-husband passed away, like I just completely shut it down because
Right.
I didn't want to, the funeral and stuff was just too traumatizing for me, and I didn't want to feel anything anybody felt. But I was very, like, if someone was hurting, I could feel their pain and it would just overwhelm me. But I've gotten to the point that I think I have closed myself off, that I've gotten numb, and I don't know how to deal with all those different feelings anymore.
That's okay, though.
That's
It's
what I was
okay
gonna
to
ask
close
you.
yourself
Yeah.
off. It's okay to close yourself off. So like I closed myself. I don't know if I did it on purpose or I just did it through life. I mean, there are times in my life, even as I was working with this, that I've had to shut down for a little bit because I was going through something. So it wasn't a good time for me to be opening myself up to that type of energy or anything, or to open myself up to other people's energy. It just wouldn't have been right. So there's nothing wrong with shutting down. It's a good thing to do, be able to shut down.
9 years.
But that's okay. Like, you do it on
However
your
long,
own
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Like, if you want to, you can. If
There's
you don't,
there's
you don't.
sometimes that it comes back, but as soon as it comes back, it's like, I don't want to deal with this
Your
right now.
intuition is your guidance that's trying to keep you on track with your chart, basically, that we talk about, that you wrote for your life. So that's your intuition. And so you always have that. It's just being able to tap into that is important. So you don't want to shut your intuition off, but just be able to shut feeling other people.
Yes.
And I teach people techniques to do that. So, but you've already figured out how to do it.
Yes,
She's a pro.
I'm like, sometimes I tell people, I'm like, I don't know what to do with feelings. I don't want to feel other people's pain.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
You don't
So
have to.
It's a lot sometimes.
Sometimes
It is a
it's
lot.
so like it's so overwhelming
It's very overwhelming.
that it
to feel other people's
suffocates
pain.
me.
Like I said, I've had to take time off when I'm going through my own stuff because I can't handle other people's pain.
Yeah.
And so I live a very insular life. Basically, I have my own world where I try to stay, and then I keep myself pretty protected. Earlier in life, I did not, and I had meltdowns. Yeah, meltdowns. I guess it's kind of like you see people with autism, like on different autism spectrum, and certain energy can be just too much, and you'll see them maybe kind of have it's almost kind of like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost kind of like that, but not the same thing. But where it's just like, oh, you could almost fry out or be overdone by the energy.
I'll get up and leave.
Yeah.
That's good.
You can ask her. I'll be like, I'm ready to go.
Like,
Because
done.
I'm
That's
just,
good.
it's
'cause
just
most
too much.
people don't do that. Most people don't do that. So you're ahead of the game and learn to
Yeah.
protect yourself. But you've been through trauma, and it's good that you've learned to do that. Mm-hmm. You usually have to teach people to learn to do that.
My coping mechanism, I guess, is shutting down. I literally
Oh, yeah.
zone everybody out. And you'll know because I'll start twiddling my thumbs or, and I'll be quiet and I'll be like, pretend like I'm
Detaching.
listening to and I detach. That's exactly it. And I completely zone out. And I'm just like, because I can't take it.
Yeah.
Now, when I'm overwhelmed in the sense where I need to find a quiet space and then recharge for like 5 minutes and then I can come back in. Very few times where I have to just literally leave because I just can't handle it. But it's funny, like I do it like mentally. It's all like inside, like in my head.
Yeah.
Instead of physically removing myself, I remove myself mentally.
It's good you're able to do that. So like it may be harder for you to do that. You have to physically remove yourself. I'm more that way too.
Yeah.
But it's harder for me to mentally be able to shut down within it. It's harder.
Yeah.
But it's real good that you're able to do that.
And
Like,
a lot of people think it's weird that
Yeah.
you just want to be home, that you don't want to be in a crowded room partying with all these people. And I mean, they don't understand what it is to be like plucked with all those different energies, all these waves. I feel like they're waves. One minute I'm good, the next minute I'm anxious, the next minute I'm sad, the next minute it's like you're going through all those
you're also
things.
being affected probably by energy around you, which is why you're picking up and it makes you feel almost bipolar sometimes.
It does.
Yeah.
My head starts spinning.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
And
I gotta go.
I have people who literally think they're bipolar, or people have told them they're bipolar, and in their chart I already know just by they're sensitives.
Yeah.
No, you're not. You just the feelings can be overwhelming when I call it high sensitivity. So we want to get out into the country. We want to get away. We want a quiet space. We want to be by the lake. We want to, we just trying to get out of it. Yeah.
I think that's why I was so in tune with my mom, because it was quiet. It was peaceful.
Yeah.
Everyone around me had this beautiful energy
Oh, yeah.
and so kind and so welcoming.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, this is where I need to be.
Yeah.
And it's like something, this almost like this impulse of,
Right.
and Sagittarius are impulsive anyways, but I just wanted to stay there.
Yeah.
It was like a safe place almost
Sure.
for me. So I was like, yeah, we need to figure this out, because
Yeah.
I just need that time, because my life has been so chaotic for the
Right.
past 9 years. So it was a change, because I never wanted to live there until recently.
That's actually what took me out of California, because it was so chaotic there.
Yeah.
And I couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah.
And even when I go back to visit, the few times that I've been there since I've been here, it just, first of all, it doesn't feel like home anymore. I feel like an alien. I feel completely out of place.
Yeah.
The energies are so heavy, is the best way I can describe it. Super heavy energies, and just
Chaos energy.
Yeah, to the point to where I feel like people don't know who they are. And they're just coming around like chickens with their heads cut off. Like, and it's too much for me. I'm just like, yeek. Like,
It's definitely different here.
yeah,
than that.
completely different
Yeah.
here. And you mentioned about, wanting to get out to the country and like
Yeah.
being near a lake. And that's been my dream since I can remember.
Right.
Always wanting to be near a body of water, not the ocean, because I feel like the ocean's very chaotic too. Like the
Okay.
waves crashing and stuff.
Yeah.
I can.
That's funny because I have a lot of reverence for the ocean, but I don't want to be in it.
Yeah, well, and I can sit at the ocean and listen, like,
Oh, I
just
love
to the
that.
waves
Yeah.
and everything. It's very calming for me. But when I look at when I actually pay attention to where I am, it seems very chaotic to me.
Oh, okay.
Because the waves are coming in and they're crashing and they're, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
So
I know
that's why
there's
the lake and the river,
yeah,
that kind of stuff.
the
is
lake
more
and the
calming
rivers
to
are
you.
more, especially like slow flowing rivers, like just, kind of, or streams, waterfalls, things like that. Although waterfalls can sometimes be a little bit chaotic
Yeah,
for me
they're
too.
very
Okay.
Yeah. The water,
Heavy.
I think, like crashing. That's what's chaotic to me.
Yeah.
But the lakes,
You're in a
especially,
perfect place right here. That's awful.
Yeah,
to leave
I
it
know,
now.
I know, I know.
Yeah,
That's
the
the-
lake and the river and the waterfalls.
I know.
But you won't be.
Let's not talk about it.
I
I'm gonna start
know.
crying.
But you won't be too far from Big Bend. That's my favorite place in the world. Is out that way.
Big Bend. I'm actually.
That's my favorite place in the world.
Now that I'm going to be out there, I want to go. I think they have. Is that where they have that? They have. What is it called? Where a no light zone or something like that.
Yeah.
Where you can go. And you
It's the
can
darkest.
roam.
Yeah, they
Yes,
have one of the dark.
darkest.
I forget what they call it, but it's one of the dark areas.
Yes,
Yeah, they
yes.
have one out there. Yeah.
I mean,
Where
yeah.
there's no light.
I think
it's
I'm gonna make a
beautiful out
trip
there
out
in that
there.
Chihuahua Desert.
Yeah, the Chihuahua
the
Desert.
Chihuahua. It's just
Exactly where
beautiful
I'm
out there.
going.
It's so
Yeah.
spiritual.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. Chihuahua Desert.
Well, don't be shocked if I've come visit, because the next time I go through and go out there, I want to come visit you.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to take this moment here, a little transition for our little slice of advice, and Miss Joanna has it. we have
It's a
little
good one.
we have little segments in our podcast that we just kind of break off
Okay.
a little bit, and then we'll come right back in. We have a lot more questions for Miss Michelle.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
God sent your soulmate to you, but you pushed him away because you did not recognize the signs that I'm about to reveal. So I was talking to a friend who just ended another relationship, and what she told me revealed why so many people keep losing their soulmate. She said, I don't understand it, Will. We had so much in common. We were perfect for each other. But every time we got into a disagreement about something, it felt like we were incompatible. She said, I would be all worked up. I'm yelling, pointing my finger at him, trying to get my point across, and he would be calm. Like so calm, like it felt like he didn't care. And that made me even more angry. And as she's telling me this, I said, can I give you a different perspective on what's going on here? And she was like, yeah, sure. So I said, what if I told you the reason you keep losing your soulmate is because you don't understand what a soulmate actually is? And when I said that, she looked confused, but she was curious. So I said, let me break it down to you like this. Your soulmate is supposed to be strong in the areas that you are weak. And you're supposed to be strong in the areas that they are weak. That's how it works. For an example, the overthinker will always be paired with somebody who's spontaneous, not to drive them crazy, to teach them how to trust themselves and let go. The person who avoids conflict will always be paired with somebody who addresses issues, not to create drama, but to teach them that healthy communication is perfectly okay. The person who struggles with emotions will always be paired with somebody who feels deeply, and it's not to overwhelm them, but it's to teach them how to connect with their own heart. So I said, let's go back to your boyfriend. Him staying peaceful was not about showing you he didn't care. It was more about teaching you how to have peace in stressful situations. But because peace for you during stress is unfamiliar, you mistook that as detachment, and now he's gone. And when I said that, her whole face changed. And then I told her, every time you lose someone because of your differences, you're actually losing your greatest opportunity for growth. See, the very thing that triggers you about a person is probably the exact thing that God wants you to learn from them. And we spend so much time trying to change people when God has put them in our lives so they can change us to be more like Him. So your differences aren't incompatibilities, they're curriculum. And your soulmate is your teacher. So the next time someone comes into your life and everything about them challenges you, don't run. That's not your enemy, that's your assignment.
Oh, give me the
Yeah,
chills.
yeah. Well, we were talking about balance. That's
Yes.
exactly what it is.
It's all about balance. So with the soulmate situation, my personal beliefs is that we come from a soul family, and all those people within that soul family would be considered soulmates in some way. And so this is why we do these patterns that we constantly repeat. They say unless you heal a relationship, you'll keep repeating it, and that's why. Because instead of dealing with it and realize you're being shown something, the mirror image thing,
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're not learning your karmic lessons.
You're not learning your karmic lessons, so we'll just keep repeating it.
Yep. Until you
Yes.
actually grasp it.
That's right.
It's usually
And for
what's,
some of us, it's a long road of learning.
usually
It's
it's
so hard-headed.
because that's where we're comfortable.
Yeah.
Just repeating the same
Oh,
pattern.
yeah.
Oh yeah, because that's what we know.
Yep. We don't leave our comfort zones. Like you're right. It's a comfort thing.
Which is why you see people say, "Well, he married his mom, or she married her dad," or something like that, or he's
Yeah.
just like you married somebody like the relationship that you've dealt with,
Yeah.
or something
Well,
like that.
here's a funny. So, my boys have told me a million times that they would never marry someone like me.
Okay.
Hispanic, just the way I am, right? So my youngest meets the love of his life. She's just like me.
Yeah, of course she is.
Her energy's like
Yeah.
me. She takes care of him like me.
Yeah.
She's just very gentle. And I'm like, so he was packing and I was like, you know what's interesting? You're marrying somebody that's just like your mom.
It happens. That happens.
Oh, yeah.
It was
my
awesome.
My son's getting married, and we met her about, I guess it's been 4, almost 5 years now since we met her. And I had a cake business for 25 years. This girl, she does cakes, cookies, all that kind of stuff. He's marrying the girl that did the same thing I did. Like he grew up with the mom baking all the time, and that's what she does. And,
Oh man.
yeah.
Sometimes moms are awesome.
We're pretty much.
I'm praying for my oldest one.
I'm praying for mine too.
I'm
Yeah.
so lucky. Both mine have picked very well, so I'm very happy.
So going back to all the woo-woo stuff, I call it the woo-woo stuff. Do you believe that hexes or bad juju is real?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you believe that other people can like put hexes on you,
It's an
or
energy thing.
But does it have to be an exchange of energy though?
It doesn't have
Or a
to
transfer of
be. It
energy.
doesn't have to be.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, it's just. The attraction, your magnetism, what you attract. What was the law of attraction kind of thing? It's the same thing, in that basically, let's say a couple broke up. And the girl, let's say, is a little bit iffy, has some issues, and so she's a little bit, let's say she has maybe a borderline personality, which can be obsessive from whatever trauma she had in her life, can be obsessive, constantly thinking about him, going by his house, all that kind of stuff. So that kind of energy, that constant kind of thing, can actually cause an energetic kind of hex, I guess you could say, where it can start causing problems for him, or him having issues. But then there are hexes where somebody has hexed something. They can hex a thing. I've had that happen. I had somebody call me one time to their house because they said their necklace, they had a necklace that was, they said something's wrong with this necklace. You have to see this necklace.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with it. And it was a Catholic coin. It was a saint coin that this lady had. She was a business owner, and they were getting ready to sell a house, and they wanted me to come clean the house, but she was very concerned about this necklace. And she said that this person that was a roommate there borrowed it one time, put it on, and they had been friends for a long time or something like that. But then she left. But they ended badly. Well, she takes this necklace out. I didn't know what she was talking. She took it out, and she kept saying the chain it keeps moving. And I saw right in front of me the chain. She picked it up, and it would kink up. And I was like, okay, that was a hex. And you know, I'm getting the real
Yeah,
feelings right now because
yeah.
that moment I saw that was so weird. I had never seen anything like that before, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay. I said,
I
but
got the heebies.
Yeah.
but we did it, and it was this energy that she put into it of wishing her malicious intent, putting
Yeah.
the energy. Literally, that person very knowingly put her energy into that, you know, saint coin to affect this lady.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
That's
but we
wild.
got rid of it.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
we went through a process that was pretty cool. So, but yeah, that was the thing. But you know, here's the deal: I don't think that a hex can really bother you. You kind of have to,
Give it power.
you have to give it power.
Believe in it.
You have to give it power. That's exactly.
My grandmother used to say that all the time.
That's really all it is. It's being affected by the way someone's thinking about you.
Yeah. Okay.
And then there's some people that are just dumb and deliberate, and then try to do like, I don't know, witchy things or something. I don't know, dolls, voodoo. I don't know,
Voodoo dolls, yeah.
really do hexes or something like that. And there are people who really do that. And especially like going into Latin America and stuff like that, you're going to get a lot more of
Brujeria
that kind of
is
stuff.
heavy,
It's all
yeah.
real, and it does really happen. But people can easily break them.
Yeah, my grandma used to say that if you don't believe in it, then it can't hurt you.
It
or
can't hurt you.
You know. And so she just used to go about her business. But yeah, but she believed in brujeria, but she didn't believe that it could touch her. And I think I kind of have the same mentality.
Okay.
Like I believe in witchcraft and darkness, and I don't believe that all witchcraft is
Right.
evil, but I believe that evil people or people can do
Sure.
bad things with witchcraft. You know.
Along with everything.
With everything,
Of
yeah.
course, of
you know,
course,
so, yeah. Have you ever been wrong about a reading? Like when you've...
I've had one person get really mad at me. I mean, it shook me up in the beginning. And it was
Really?
early on, and it was. I have clients that are all over the nation, so like most of my stuff is done by phone. But I had a whole lot of clients in the New Orleans area for many, many years, and I just kind of spread through that area. And I had one person call me, and she was asking about her husband. And I did not pick up anything negative about her husband. I picked up very negative about her. But I couldn't say that. It was a very uncomfortable thing because I can't. She's my customer. You know what I mean? She's my client.
Yeah.
But what she wanted me to say, see, she was getting ready to divorce him. She was hoping I would tell her something that wasn't true, and I couldn't do it. So that's the only time I think I remember her getting very angry, and she wanted her money back. She was trying to get goods on him, like, you're not going to get any goods to use in court in a psychic reading anyway. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But that's the only time. I'm trying to think. Have I been wrong? If I've been wrong, like outwardly wrong, nobody's told me. I mean, I've had some things that weren't exactly like lined up on dates or something like that, but it ended up being something that was a little different. But, okay, I was wrong on a baby sex one time. Yeah, I was wrong on a baby sex one time.
I think those can be tricky though.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of, psychics out there that,
Yeah.
and they'll say no gender question and no death questions. How
Yeah.
am I going to die? When am I going to die? And they
Yeah.
just absolutely won't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
So,
So how long have you been doing this, Michelle? Like
15 years?
15 years.
solid, yeah. Yeah.
As a profession, but you've been since birth gifted.
Yeah, I've just been using it to try to. I have a master number life path, which is a 33 life path, and it's more about a spiritual mission of helping others. And so this is just my means of trying to use any tool I know that can help anybody.
Yeah.
So, and it's just through connection,
Right.
Connecting with people and looking at their chart is just helpful. And what I do is I don't think it's negative. I don't think anybody's had a bad experience. When most people come to me, it's about like real, just regular life issues. I have a lot of business owners, a lot of that type of stuff. So they want to know if they have plans of doing things with business, or people who are trying to plan when they're going to move, or relationship problems, how we can deal with them, that kind of stuff. But I don't think I've ever had nothing dark. I've never had anything dark. Now, I have had one really interesting experience in a client who was very, very caught up in horror, and it did come out and have a lot of problems in her life. And I saw her go through a drastic change for the better
Good.
And it was amazing. And it was also a Louisiana client. She was a single mom of a son. She was having all kinds of problems in her home. Just said, well, I'm picking up a lot of horror type stuff in your home. I said, does anybody like watch horror? She said, oh yeah, I love it. That's my thing. And apparently she had like horror stuff in her house. What had happened is she had opened up her house to so much horror stuff that all this energy got in. She brought too much of it in her home. So the next time I heard from her was maybe like 9 months later. She sounded like a different person.
Wow.
Yeah, she had cut it out. Like she just stopped it entirely, tried to change her life. Yeah.
Listen, she knows this about me. I am a huge proponent of watch what you feed your brain.
That's exactly.
Because that energy, you're just inviting it in, whatever it may be. And so we talked earlier about Halloween. I've never been, ever since I was young too, like I wasn't ever the type to dress up and go trick-or-treating and go, like I hung out with my friends and I do parties and things like that, but I'm not big on opening myself up like that. I think that because I've intuitively known, and now I know for sure, that the veil is so thin on that day that I don't want to invite anything to try to attach itself to me. And entities attach to people all the time. All the time, with unknowingly.
The dark wants dark, and it needs to suck dark. So that's what it looks for. It can easily attach to depression. That's why I worry about people going through depression. It can easily attach to people with alcoholism or drinking too much. I see a lot of it with people who drink. There's attachments. And people can have attachments, and it doesn't mean like... I've seen people who've had attachments of like that person we found in the closet. That kind of attachment. Like I've seen an attachment to a man of another man who was kind of like that. It was a drunk gambler, casino kind of guy that was attached to this one man who had an alcohol problem. But it was like feeding on him, and it was like pushing the situation.
Yeah.
But we disconnected that, and he was fine.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But don't you feel like... So you go through the whole disconnecting and clearing of that energy, but then if they continue doing the same thing and same vices, the same habits, the same bad habits, it'll continue, or it can reattach, or a different entity can attach, because again, you're opening yourself up to that energy by doing these things, like frequenting a bar, when literally it's called spirits for a reason.
The biggest attachments I've seen are around bars.
Yeah.
Or somebody who's frequented a bar a lot.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
And you can tell the minute that I walk into a bar, I feel like eyes go like this. I know it's because my energy is different. Yeah. And I know because I never walk into a bar or anywhere unprotected. Yeah. Never. Because I'm not allowing any.
That's really smart of you.
Yeah. But because I know most people are not conscious of it, and they just go and they're just open.
I know somebody very, very well who had an attachment from a bar.
Yeah.
And it wreaked havoc. Havoc. And it was shocking. The person was shocked when they found out that's what happened. But but the thing is, he was like, I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what. Yeah. You know, he said it felt out of control. I didn't know what was going on. Yeah. You know. Yeah. Like he had this driving intensity to do these things that he didn't typically do.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
It came out in like his personality. His personality was different, that kind of stuff. But then after that, it was back to normal.
Yeah. It's literally an influence over your life. So, but that's why I say when you're even unwittingly, you open yourself up to the entities and you think you're going to go to church one day and, okay, I cleared it. Like I feel better. Maybe I don't go to a bar for a month, but then you continue on then after that doing the same thing and you're stuck in the same rut and the same routines. Hey, there you are again, reopening. Right. And so,
it's good that you do that. But like I said, you've got that. We didn't talk about the numbers. Your life path is an 8. We call that the powerhouse number. It's a very, it's a high frequency number. Yeah. But you probably have that ability. You have that awareness in you that's just very natural to you as an 8. So that's probably where that's coming from. Yeah. Is that 8? Because you have to be protected because you're supposed to do important stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure.
You feel it though, don't you?
I do.
Because you're an 8, so you've probably always feel that driving, intense energy of that 8. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and other people feel it around me too, and they think I'm just bossy.
I just go with the flow with her. I'm just like, okay, all right, I'll do it, whatever.
Yeah, but you probably have a lot of innovative thoughts and stuff.
She does.
I do.
Yeah.
Because you're a 1. 1s have innovative thoughts. They think outside the box and have like epiphanies and like, oh, wouldn't this be a great idea? Yeah.
The only snag food, the snack food. What is it?
Snafu.
Snafu I have is that I am very literal too at the same time.
yeah.
So like if someone tells me do XYZ, I do XYZ. Especially when it comes to, I'm like kind of a rule follower. So if I'm being told this is the way it needs to be, that's how I do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Unless it's something for me and I'm doing it on my own, then I am like,
This is your personality number. Your personality number is a 4. That's that stable, structured kind of number. So you come across to people, your personality number is how people see you. Okay, so this is, for some people it can be the mask they wear if they don't want people to see who they are, but typically it's just what people sense about you. So you're the one they can count on. The 4 is the stable, the dependable, the hard worker who's there for you, good team player. Great team player, that kind of stuff. So that's where that comes from. That's your 4 energy. And your soul number is a 2. So that means the thing that you want deep down inside, that's another very stable number. That 2 number is the peacemaker, the peacekeeper. So it means like the thing you want the most in life is like peace. You want peace and you want people to get along. You like to connect people. Like you would connect people, this person. Oh, you got to meet this person.
that's for her,
This person.
not me.
Wait, before you get too deep into that, because I want to really dive deep into. Okay, now I want to take a moment and go a little sidebar again to our what the fuck moment, and I have our.
Please
what the
tell
fuck
me it's not
moment.
about assholes or vaginas. Because her what the fuck moments are always about assholes or vaginas.
Oh my god! Okay,
It is, isn't it? Jeez.
No, it's not actually. It's not. But I wanted to see because I have 2 of them here. But I think, yeah, I think this one because this one's a little bit shorter. All right, so I wrote this one down. It's a reel that I watched, okay? But some girl that does, she does these horror stories, but they're just stories that make you go, what?
Okay.
Like, what the fuck, really? So there's this girl that starts feeling ill and she has to get an ultrasound. The doctor asks her, how long have you had only 1 kidney? And she's like, what do you mean? I have 2 kidneys. And the doctor says, no, you only have 1, you know, because she can see it in the ultrasound. So the doc says, no, you only have 1. She tells the doc that she went to Turkey with her girlfriends to get gastric bypass surgery. All 3 of them got gastric bypass. The doc tells her to contact her 2 friends and tell them to get an ultrasound ASAP. She contacts her friends and they find out the same thing. They each only have 1 kidney.
They stole her kidneys?
Yep, they went to Turkey for gastric bypass only to have their kidneys stolen.
I've
What
heard
the
that
fuck?
Turkey is very corrupt. There's
That
a lot
is
of crazy stuff
that's
there.
Insane. I bet you they sell them on the black market
Of course
too.
they do.
Oh, for
Of
sure
course they do.
That's big money.
But I'm sure it doesn't only
We
happen
only
in
need 1
Turkey.
kidney, really. But
I
I would have
mean-
wanted to be paid for it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like if you're gonna take my
50,
kidney,
50.
pay me for my
Steal it.
kidney.
They're stealing them.
I know, pay you.
That is
We'll
crazy.
talk if you got money, but
Yeah.
I love that one, Yvette.
yeah, that's crazy.
Yep.
I mean,
wow, was that recent or just
It's a little
story she told?
distorted, but it's, you know.
That's
Yeah, no, that was crazy. The
so.
other one
I'm
was
not going to
super long, but
Turkey.
I'm never going to Turkey for
I'm not
surgery.
going to, yeah,
Not
plastic
for
surgery.
surgery,
No,
no
way.
thank
Keep it in
you.
the
No,
U.S.
No. Yeah.
Pay more money. It's
Ay,
fine.
ay.
It's fine.
All right. Well, now let's bring it back. We have asked Michelle to do Miss Joanna's and mine numerology charts, and then we're going to have some fun with the little tarot and stuff. So now it's time for the good stuff.
Okay, so we're just going to go through, you and I have done this before a little bit,
Yes.
so we're just going to go over what I call y'all's core numbers.
Okay.
So that would be like in astrology, you were talking about your moon, your sun, your rising. Okay, so basically in astrology, you have your 3 cores, which is your moon, your sun, your rising. And then in numerology, you have your 6 core numbers. So to describe the different aspects, so kind of the same thing. And I'm going to go over, now I've got y'all's pulled up together because
Oh.
I'm looking at how y'all compare to each other.
Yeah,
Okay, so I'm
that's
looking
great.
at a comparison thing at the same time. So, so Joanna, so this is yours right here. This is Yvette's, and then we'll talk about that in a second. But so I'm just kind of doing y'all together. So your life path we talked about is 1. So this tells me what is your main thing about you that came here in life. So the big energy about you is you've got this leadership ability. And we talked about that can play out in somebody who's just an entrepreneur who goes like, all the way to the top, starts businesses, or somebody who is the boss applesauce, has to run everything, take care of everybody, who, you got to keep everything in line. So that plays out in that way. We talked about the people who have a life path 1 tend to be a little bit more stubborn children because they've got that young leadership thing that's trying to come out of them. Mm-hmm. So if a parent is with me and they're having a problem with the child, that's the one we would talk about that. Mm-hmm. I would be telling things to do to let the child take initiative and be a leader, that kind of stuff. All right, your life path is an 8. We talked about that. Oh, you had the 3 8s. Okay. So your life path is an 8, your destiny is an 8, and your personality is an 8. We'll talk about what that means having 3 8s in a little bit. So right now your life path is an 8. So you came here to be basically, the 8s are we call the powerhouse. That's usually people who rise to the top of organizations, lead organizations. They tend to be very, very organized, organized to a T, keep things organized, want things organized, organized groups, very good at all that stuff. So they tend to raise to the top and they tend to attract money. So people who have 8s, especially 3 8s, they can attract money, they can lose money, but they can attract money just as fast again.
Yeah.
So I call it the money number. I call it the lucky number. Because I wish I had an 8. I don't even have 1, and you have 3 of them. So I could use $1 here and there. I wish I had an 8.
When I win the lotto, I've got you.
Okay. Well, you should. So, but anyway, having 3 of your 6 numbers be an 8, we call that keyhole energy. So it causes a very intenseness of personality. Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's me.
And so that intenseness would be in that 8 energy. Super organized. You got to have things right. Things have to be, everything's got to dotted I's and cross the T's and everything, that kind of stuff. So just, it's like, it causes an intensive personality. So your destiny number is a 6, so it means this is what you're destined to do with your leadership. The 6 is the number of home and family. So it typically means that your life, you're destined to use that leadership around your home and family. It's very important around your home and family.
Just how I
Those
grew
of
up.
you love your family. Yeah, it's how you grew up.
Yeah.
So that's where it is. With you, your life path is an 8. What are you destined to do with that 8? You're destined to be the 8. Be the leader, be the one who starts bringing the money in. I would stick with her. Even after the move, keep doing this. Stay on it because it's going to bring money.
I'm rubbing the crystal ball.
Yeah, I'm going to rub it too.
Putting it out into the universe.
I'm going to rub it too. And so now your soul number, we talked about your soul numbers are 2. When you walked away, we were talking about this a little bit. So this means what you want deep down inside you. That 2 means you want relationship, companionship, love, being held, that kind of stuff. That 2 energy is very connection, that kind of thing. So it's the thing that you want the most. Like that's the thing you need to thrive. That's your soul. It's that connection. This is why you are so close, because you connect well with others. That's so important to you. So yours is a 9. So yours is humanitarian type of interest. So that shows me that it's interesting because you're reaching out in a humanity type of way with your 8 energy. So that's what you're doing. So it's appealing to the masses. So that 9 is very humanitarian. You want to do something that's helping others in some way. With your experience and stuff like that. So your personality is a 4. We talked about that a little bit before. And that means you come across to others as the stable one. The stable friend, the one that can be counted on. You're there when the going gets tough. Hard worker, very dependable. So like when I deal with a lot of people who are hiring, or trying to put research teams together or something like that. If I see that, I'm like, this is someone who's going to work good on a team, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So that's you. Your personality number is that 8. So you come across as the hot shot, the boss applesauce. Everybody knows who you are. You walk in the room. You probably turn a lot of heads when you walk in the room because there's an energy about you that just you can't help it. It's just that powerhouse.
Yeah.
Hurricane Katrina was a life path 8.
I'm a hurricane.
That makes money.
Oh my goodness.
I'd rather be with her hurricane.
Wait, Hurricane Katrina was very destructive.
So an 8 can be very, very beneficial.
Yeah.
And very destructive.
Oh.
So, we talk about the light and the dark.
Yes.
Yeah, so you have to really channel that energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then with you, your maturity, y'all both have the same maturity number. It's a 7.
Oh.
And this is perfect. So the maturity number is what I look at when you're about this point in life. So we're looking at around midlife time. So if somebody came to me and they're having an issue, and the first thing I'm going to look at is what is their maturity number, because that's going to point to what should be going on at this time in their life, and if it's not, that's causing the crisis. Y'all's is 7. The 7 is by midlife, you're dealing with information and technology. The 7 is the number of wisdom, sharing, learning, teaching, that kind of stuff. It's the number of data, technology, all that. And both of y'all are there. It's both of your numbers.
Yeah, baby. That's
our
our
time.
podcast.
Yeah.
Here you are here.
This is our time.
Here you are with technology, sharing information. Yeah.
That is so awesome.
And so then we talked about how the two of y'all, and I won't go into depth about this, about y'all are both in these same concords. And so 369, we talked about 369s being the numbers of creation. And y'all both have those concords. And so that's why y'all connect very well.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So see how your numbers are very different, but they play well together.
Yeah.
Right? So that's it. That's just a little bit. So if you were wanting to talk about, like, real quick, we were talking about your life cycles, let's
Yes.
say. Okay? So around 2019 and 2020, you would have been going through an ending and new beginning. So what was going on at that time?
My husband passed away
Okay. So that was that ending, new beginning time frame.
and moved to Georgia.
And you moved to Georgia. So then you're in a 6 year this year. So last year was a 5 year for you. That would be a year of change. So you probably were going through a lot of change last year. It also could have been a lot of movement or freedom, or it could have been it would have been a year of exploration and change. So I don't know what you were doing last year. Did you go through any certain change last year? Or did you just have a bunch of fun? Because 5 is fun and freedom.
No, yeah.
And 5s are
there's
also
change.
feisty. So. Okay,
Come on.
but this
We
year
also
in a
had a
6
lot
year.
of fun
No, we had a shit ton of fun.
last year.
And we the podcast came on.
Yeah,
and
we did
all
that.
that.
Yeah.
So that was a change.
Yeah.
That was a change. So the 5. So going from the 1 to the 9. So if you watch like a program, it has a beginning, and then it has that middle where there's a change taking place. So that 5 year is that change.
The climax.
It was like here's
cycle.
where something's changing and going in a new direction, kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
For 2025.
For 2024,
2024.
last year that was your 5 year. And typically when I see a 5 year in adults, it can mean movement, moving, change, freedom and adventure. If somebody's in a bad situation, it can be a lot of fighting and stuff in that year. Fights can break out. You're in a 6 year this year, so it's more about home and family again. It's coming home. Home and family is kind of more central this year for you. Let's go to you. My glasses. Okay, so you are in your 5 year, the year of change.
Makes sense.
What else is there to say? So that would be about those times. And then now you've got your 5 year, and then 2026 is the year of family for you. So that's going to be more central to
Makes
home and
sense.
family. Because you move in October.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of this year, and I plan to stay. I mean, I'm not putting a time limit on it, but yeah, definitely spending time with family.
How long are you wanting to stay there? Like, if you were to think, like, you...
To be honest, I really, I'm leaving it open-ended because I'm kind of...
Oh, are you going to stay there? Stay there.
I'm leaving it open-ended to where I'm letting the universe surprise me and wow me.
You are definitely moving with the universe. If this is what you've chosen during this 5 year, it makes sense. You're right there, moving with the river of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not putting an ending to it. I will tell you, I have a friend of mine. You met her from California. She does a lot of oracle cards and things like that. And she's highly intuitive. So when I was talking to her about this, because I told you I was having issues with, at first, kind of struggling with, I don't want to move. I literally had my feet planted firmly in the ground. And then I finally, I went through the whole grieving process, I feel. I went through anger, being upset, and then denial and all of it. And I think now I'm at the acceptance part where I'm just like, okay, do with me what you will, And so she pulled a couple oracle cards, and she did mention that by the end of 2026 that I would be making another move somewhere. She didn't say where, obviously. I don't know if that's in the cards for me or not, but
So 2 moves?
yeah, one this year and then one by the end of 2026 or soon after that. So now
Okay, I
she's
just
doing
want to
a
know if you'll be
pendulum.
making 2 moves. Okay, let's slow down. It's a yes. And what I get as I'm feeling this, because I'm getting a picture as I'm getting this, so the yes is, but I feel like you're going to be somewhere kind of temporary at first, and then you move into your permanent. That's the 2 moves. So it feels to me like let's say you move into an apartment, or you move in with somebody or something, you move in somewhere, but then the next year or so you're going to find a home or something that you buy and you move into.
So it could be
that's what it
staying
feels
put
like.
in that city, just on my own.
That's
or
what it feels
whatever,
like.
Just different, yeah.
It feels like a secondary move within
Yeah.
the whole move kind of thing.
Okay.
That's what it feels like to me. And let me
Okay.
see it's saying.
Kind of makes sense.
And it's yes, it's still going yes. So yeah.
Interesting.
You're not coming back.
Okay, now that we're in this talk about moves though, a while back, a couple of years ago, or maybe last year, I think it was, I can't remember, one of the readings that you did for me, you saw, I think it was using the cards though, that I would be moving out of the country. Is that still in the cards for me? Is that still a plan at some point? I'm not saying tomorrow or...
I know that you traveled outside of the country.
I did travel outside of the country that year.
Hold on. Okay, so this is what I do. When I am on the phone with somebody, I usually have the headphones in, and as I'm talking to them, I'm drawing cards and scrying.
Yeah.
So when people are on the phone with me, this is what's taking place.
Yes.
They're talking to me, and I'm at the same time scrying.
Yes.
So, alright, she can move out of the country at any point. Restart. Alright, well, we're definitely going on a maybe. Okay. So there's a maybe. So something's up in the air, where something has changed or something's not, but it's in the air. Do you understand? So when I get a maybe, it's in the air.
She is not going to England.
That was very specific.
Watch that, buddy.
That was very specific.
Yes, there's definitely movement, and it involves a man.
Oh, man. I take it back.
And when the man comes in, it's going to be very quick action. So this card is letting me know it's quick.
My
So-
Emperor finally.
I
That
mean,
card always comes out for me, by the way, and the Empress. That's why
Yeah.
I have it on tattooed on my
It would
arm.
have to be, though. It would have to be because you're a powerhouse.
Yeah.
If I was pulling, if I pulled, let's say,
Would her partner, though, have to be a powerhouse, too?
he's got to have something.
Yeah.
Because she'll run all over somebody who isn't. Do
She
you
already did
understand?
that, yeah.
It would bore her to death. But if I pulled a page, that'd be somebody to run all over. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it could be your cabana boy. I don't know. I don't know. What do you want? What do you
not
want?
going to England.
Because I can help you. Which one do you want?
Italy, maybe, but not England.
No, I definitely need my
Kidding.
Emperor.
Yeah.
I already did the Cabana Boy. I already...
So maybe this is the trip that you meet this man on. Maybe I was way off on time. But I do feel like there was something that happened on that trip that you took or right afterward that gave you inspiration. Isn't that when you say you decided to start doing this right after that or something?
No.
What was it? Something happened right after that.
So the last time
You didn't meet anybody on the trip.
I was supposed to meet somebody on the trip, but I told you
Yeah.
where I didn't meet, but because there were extenuating circumstances
Oh, that's
on that
right.
trip.
That's right. That's
So,
Which, yeah.
but when I came back, actually, was it right before? No, it was right before in June. I met somebody in June, and you did tell me that I was going to meet somebody within the next couple of months when we did the reading.
Okay.
I met somebody in June, but we didn't actually get together until January of the following year.
Oh, okay.
And he was the one that broke me out of my 7-year sabbatical. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So again, this is not set in stone, like this is what's going to
No,
happen.
that's
It's
right.
it's just kind of like a roadmap as to what's
Exactly.
what's in the air, like you said, what's in the air,
What's
what's
in
a
the air.
possibility. But ultimately, my life choices and my life
Exactly.
decisions are going to influence and
Exactly.
affect where I end up and which path I take.
That's
so I
exactly
could end up somewhere,
Yeah.
but I might take a wrong turn somewhere and I go all the way, and it'll take me 10
That's
years
right.
to get there. You know.
That's right. That's right. I should have been smarter than this 9 years ago, let's just say. I missed a cycle, I think.
That's so funny.
I had to learn my lessons a whole nother 9-year cycle. Which is what happens if we don't. You
Yeah.
know, let's learn. You know people who are working on themselves because they just have an emotional quality. You just know.
Yeah.
But then there's people who just don't. And people who just never change.
Yes.
I mean, I know somebody who's my age and is the same person, same stupid little personality as when we were in high school.
Yeah.
Never changed.
It's weird.
It's odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of odd when
Yeah.
there's been no.
Evolution.
Yeah, that's what stuck in time. They just never had to change.
Yeah.
And it tends to be people who didn't have tough circumstances.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. One more question before we get to Miss Joanna's questions.
Okay.
Have I met my person yet? Like, do I know him, or am I going to meet him?
Okay, my feeling is no, but I'll get this. The feeling is no to the first answer.
Okay.
That's my feeling is no. So do you already know this person? My feeling is no. No, you don't know the person, no.
I don't know him yet.
I don't think so.
Interesting.
I'll be traveling to Texas. Thank you very much.
Very, very interesting. Okay.
I don't think.
My emperor
Your
is not in
life,
Texas.
your life has taken a turn,
Yeah.
and our lives do sometimes take a turn
Yes.
and fork off. In those forks, there's all kinds of possibilities. Where one possibility might have passed, another possibility opens. So there's infinite possibilities. So many times when I talk to somebody and they feel like they've missed the mark on something, it doesn't mean it's not going to happen for you. It just didn't happen this moment.
Right.
But it's meant to happen.
Yes.
So it's going to happen. Do you understand? It's just going to happen in this time now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I have a follow-up question. I'm sorry. On the very first reading that you ever gave me, you said that there were going to be two people, and that I was going to have to make a difficult decision between the two. Is that still at play? Or
Well, that would make sense. I mean, I don't know because we're talking about readings a long time ago. So
Yeah.
I can't clue into that. But that would make sense to me if there's somebody else and then you meet another person
Yeah.
in another place.
We need some popcorn for this.
You've got to keep me up to date on all the drama. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
But she can handle it.
Oh, yeah. We know that.
Okay, moving on. Let's move on to Miss Joanna.
Okay.
Juicy stuff.
Juicy stuff. I'm going to keep it PG.
I think it was PG.
What's something brand new coming into your life? Brand new. This would
Maybe.
be something involving your mind and work, most likely.
I
Yeah.
just got a Gigi's.
Okay. So usually I pulled an Ace of Swords. I just want to pull something right now. Just before you said a word, I want to pull something right now. And I pulled something brand new happening. It's a swords that usually involves the mind, something that involves something that uses your mind. This could be something where your new ideas are put to use, that kind of stuff. So it's brand new, like it's being offered. Here you are. So when I have sessions with people, what I do is what's called pre-reading. So I go into pre-reading, which is about 20 minutes before I actually get on the phone with them, where I'm doing this. I pull cards where what I do is, like if I'm having a reading with you, okay, I will literally try to tune into your energy. And then I start pulling cards and stuff. So I tell you why you're calling me when you call me. So that's what I do. So that's what I was trying to do with you. There's your answer. Yes, it's coming. And then it's a yes. So yes, this is yes. This is backing me up. So I try to make sure this is right. This is right. So if that's what your main question was, there's your answer. It's coming. Yeah, it's being coming right out of the heavens for you. Brand new.
Thank you, Jesus. And I'm not
Okay, now
Catholic.
what was your question?
I think my question. Oh, there's so many. Squirrel, have ADHD. It's all over the place. I think my question would be more towards our future with our podcast.
I was just gonna ask that. Oh man. Ran out.
Perfect combination, y'all doing it together.
With
Okay,
the
I pulled the lovers card. I pulled the lovers card, so perfect combination. So this is shining on y'all. So the answer is
I'm gonna cry.
But anyway, so this is a perfect combination. This is a yes, y'all are doing it together. It's gonna go well. It doesn't mean you're lovers, it just means it's the perfect combination. Coming together and
Yeah.
you're working together is perfect. It's gonna go very, very well. And then I pulled the sun, which means the sun is coming. So it's going to feel like a lot of work, but it is going to prosper. You will prosper. And it's just sticking to it. And it sounds like y'all have the plans to really stick to it. Like you're not even going to let this move get in the way. Y'all got it already worked out. So I think you're going to do really good. Yes.
I just got the chills from head to toe.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to go really good. And then looking at numbers. So you're in a 5-year and you are in your 6th year. So y'all are close. So basically, whenever I see people when I'm dealing with people who are cycling off from each other, like I can have couples, one maybe in a 1 year, one maybe in a 5-year or something like that. We talk about how to kind of sync their cycles of life because they'll be in different times of life. You're like a year ahead of her. So you're in a 6-year in a cycle. She's in a 5-year in a cycle. So there may be times where you're going to be like, oh my gosh, but she's not there yet. You know what I mean? Like, oh, but wait, we're not there yet.
Yeah.
So you may feel that, or you may feel like she's jumping the gun. Sometimes you're like, oh, hold on a minute. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So y'all may have a little bit of that happens between y'all. But it looks like it's going to go really good. I would say that for the two of you, your year that's going to be really good is going to be 2027.
I literally said it in my brain. 2027.
It's 2027. Yeah, 2027 is going to be a really good year. So it's just, and that would make it what, about 3-year mark?
Mm-hmm.
That's about
from the podcast.
Yeah, that's about
from
what
when we
I
started.
From what I've ever heard, that's about what it takes with
with
podcasts. 3
about
years. So that's right on. That's right on the money. Oh my gosh.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we need ideas and content for 3 or 2 more years. Oh my goodness, this is so awesome! It's so awesome.
Yeah, so things are going to go good.
I have one more
but
question.
I also do feel like.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Well, go ahead. What are you going to ask?
Will we be moving to Puerto Rico?
Will you be moving to Puerto Rico?
Yeah. It's just so heavy in my heart. I need to ask the question.
I think you already know the answer. That's my prediction.
Yeah, but you're going to feel frustrated about it. Like, you're going to feel frustrated about it. Like, I got to do it. Kind of almost like you're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? So, now let me see. Now, this isn't a definite yes card right here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to say this immediately gives me the feeling of like, oh, gosh. Because what I'm feeling like is you want to, but at the same time, it's like, oh, God. Like you're going to fight it. Let's see. When you move to Puerto Rico. Settle.
It's a ball
See,
of confusion.
that's even your energy. That's what I'm saying. Look at that.
All the confusion.
Try to start again. Maybe
Probably
that's why I'm even having a hard time. And I certainly don't feel anything right here on the horizon for you. It's not something I feel like is happening right now. Now let me try to clear it.
I love your ring.
Oh, thank you.
Still. Well, there you go.
Okay. So I have yes, but I don't feel like it's anytime soon. This is what I'm feeling. So maybe that's why it's a little harder. So what I would do is I look at your numbers again. And I would think if it happens, it's going to be a ways off. It would probably be around 2029 to maybe
Which
after.
makes sense.
To maybe after that, but it's no time soon. So I don't want you to think it's anytime, which may be a lot of that chaos energy. So I think what I would tell you, if you were my client, would be put this off. Don't even think about that right now. So take it off the plate because it's not in your cards right now. It's not in your energy cycle right now. But you're in a 6th year, which is all about home and family. So you're probably feeling very drawn
Yes.
to home and family. So you're feeling that feel, and you're feeling, oh, I need to go home to home and family. So in that 6th year, you're going to feel that pull real strong.
Wait a minute. You said 2027?
For when y'all do what?
No. Oh, 29.
29.
That's 4 years from now. That's going to be her 1 year.
No, I said that would be about the time. A year of change, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A new beginning.
Oh, yeah,
starting
that's a
new.
one.
It'll be
Yeah.
your 1 year, 2029. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah, it's a 1 year, new beginning.
chills.
Yeah.
Wow.
If Puerto Rico's even there by that time.
By 2029,
It'll be
Let's hit
there.
it.
it'll be there.
It'll
Yeah.
be there. I think it's going to be mine.
So crazy.
So here, you know what I want you to do? I have this deck where I'm going to let y'all each pull a card.
Okay.
Pull a card
Okay.
and see what it does for you.
So fun. I love this. I love this stuff. I do have one more question for you about me. But we'll do this first. Well,
we're on tarot. I was going to let you update these. Are you going to do it at the very end?
Well, maybe with the pendulum.
I'll ask you a
Okay.
question off.
Do you want to do the pendulum? Do y'all want to do the
Well, we
pendulum?
can ask it and then I can edit it out.
Do you want to do the
because-
pendulum? Do you want to do it?
Yeah, I'll
So
do
you
it.
get in touch with your energy.
Okay.
Okay, so
I have my own pendulum, but yeah.
it's easy when you go to someone else who's not in your head for them to read. Mm-hmm. It's harder for us in our own head to read. So a lot of times we want to go to somebody else to help us who's got an outside point of view, which is why tools like this help us understand ourselves without having to ask somebody else.
Right. And so what I'm doing is, and what I normally do with my pendulum is I'm, literally, like you said, calling on my spirit team to kind of guide me and open my mind up and my heart space. So I'm going to ask the question.
OMG.
Is there going to be a love interest for me in Texas?
Well, we already know the answer to that.
No, we don't. We didn't ask in
Okay.
Texas.
I saw him in Texas. I'm
You
sorry,
did?
did I say that?
No.
Oh yeah, that's where I saw the emperor.
Brave
I
soul.
saw the emperor in Texas.
Did you?
Yes. That was the move. Yeah, I saw the move in swift movement when you meet him or when this happens. Yeah.
Do I already know him?
There's a love interest in Texas.
Okay.
She's never coming back.
What? But does hot chick have 2 love interests in Texas? Like, I don't think that would be out of this world.
When you told me there was going to be 2 that I was going to have to choose between.
Yes.
Stop bickering. Go ahead. I want to know.
All right. Is the person going to be one of my love interests in Texas? That's a better question.
Okay.
Because, yeah, we know.
She will not be alone in Texas. Let's just say that. We don't have to
figured that
worry.
already.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So, in my readings, I usually have kind of a happy little advice card at the end. Mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna let y'all do yours.
Okay.
Okay. And you can just kind of go through the cards and just see what you feel drawn to.
You go first. I don't want our energies clashing.
Okay, sure. Right, the fates. So this is basically saying that everything that's happening, what is the number on that card?
17.
Which deduces to
8.
An 8. And it's your fate. Now come on.
Look, guys. The fates. And it's 17 up at the top.
What card did you draw? What was the number on there?
No veo.
13?
13, yes.
Which equals a 4,
Four.
which was one of your numbers. It's fork in the road. So this is showing you changing directions. Like you've got different options at your hand right now. So basically. So to me, it means there's like 2 options available.
OMG.
Okay.
Nice.
That's amazing. And I can say it now because this ain't going on. It's October.
That's right. Oh my goodness.
So my words of wisdom for all of our lovely people that follow us is from the well-talented Miss Selma Hayek.
Love her.
Love Selma Hayek.
Me too.
Isn't she like the richest woman in the world?
I don't know. But
She's the most beautiful.
She's up there, yeah. Easy.
I think it is all right to be full of joy, to be full of life, to be happy, and to embrace yourself and life itself at any age, and to have fun doing the things that terrify you.
Ooh,
Especially doing the things that terrify you. Yep. Yep.
I love that. Because
give me the
everything
chills.
good comes from having to deal with something hard.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep. It sure does. Very true. And
It's triggered by fear.
I would rather have regretted doing some stupid shit than
Yes.
to not do stuff because I'm scared to live.
Yep.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
Yeah. Love it, love it, love it. Michelle, let us know where we can find you, where the audience can find you.
I'm Wonder Number Woman on TikTok. You can find me there. Michelle Lee on Facebook. Oh, you'll recognize my face, I guess. Or you can call me. I don't know if you put my number up or whatever. And
I can in the comments.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put your number
put
on
my
there.
number up. You can call me or text me.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining
was
us
fun.
today.
Happy Halloween.
Yes, happy Halloween, guys. Bye. Adios, amigos.
Bye.